So we've just come out of lockdowns in Melbourne here. Once again, for the viewers, it's the 3rd of December today, 2020. How was that for you?
It was pretty damn challenging. I mean, I spent a lot of the first bit of it being incredibly grateful that, hey, we're in an industry which is still not only operating, but it's growing and it's hitting records, right? Notwithstanding, Melbourne's complete shutdown there for a bit. Just was very grateful to be in that position. But, it got pretty mentally challenging and draining, just, trying to juggle the kids and my wife wanting to work and all that sort of stuff. So, by the end of it, I was just pretty exhausted and over it, to be frank. What I did do that worked for me was, and I'm going to keep on in some sense, one of those lessons to take on into life. I actually cut back to a 32-hour working week.
Mm-hmm.
I took a full weekday off with my son each week, and we went out cycling together, and he got really good at cycling, and we had a great time. So that's, it was tricky to juggle that, but now having, with more the freedom, it's like 32 hours a week feels like a good amount of time to work, and it's much better. I'm more proud of that than I am proud of being busy, if you like. But the challenge in all of that, I think, was the remotely managing the staff. And don't get me wrong, they're all great. They're self-responsible people who handle our daily operations really well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm only just really figuring out that it's really even more important in remote working environments to have that strategic vision communicated, owned, and executed well. And that really takes disciplined focus and regular updates. And we've actually, towards that purpose, we're actually implementing a lot of the stuff from Eric Ries's book in our daily and weekly operations. So setting up those Kanban boards of, okay, these are the things that they're really important things get done this week, and let's just focus on those really clearly, and track our velocity using sprint points and all that sort of stuff. And that's helping us to stay true to our vision rather than getting distracted by operating just the way that we always do.
Okay, and so with regards to your personal health, so because you said you're into rock climbing, you couldn't do any rock climbing during lockdown, I presume? They closed down the rock climbing gyms?
Yeah, that's right.
So what were you doing to keep yourself healthy during that time?
Well, not enough, I think, at the start of it. I did that exercise and it gets boring and go for a jog and all that sort of stuff. It's just kind of like that maintenance of minimum level of sanity. And for me, it was that mental health. What I ended up doing, and because I generally take my son first thing in the morning whenever he wakes up, and I wasn't getting enough me time in the day, if you like. So I actually ended up setting my alarm an hour early, doing a quick meditation, and then actually jumping straight into work and getting that under my belt, and usually just focusing on the single most important thing. So that if I got that done in the morning already, I felt like I didn't have that pressure of a demon on my back. I've got this work to be done. It's like, well, I've already done the most important thing. So then what I did was actually scheduled in my diary each day at a time in the middle of the day to go ride my bike. So I've got a mountain bike. We've got some trails actually in the hills just around us in Warrandyte. And what I found that was good about that is, apart from breaking up the workday, I was just get my change my head state, right, and actually get into a flow state, and just come back. It's clear to have an awesome velocity day.
Yeah, right. Okay.
What did you do?
Well, I just drank a lot, really. That was the no. I for me, I realized I just did the same as I'd been doing, right? And so initially, really, which was nothing for myself personally, health-wise. It was, I wasn't sleeping enough, and I was probably drinking a little bit too much, and all those and not eating properly and all those things, spending too much time working. So, but in the end, as I was mentioning before, I started to get that feeling of just dread, and anxiety and paranoia, and just, I could tell it was like, my body was really screaming out that something was wrong, but it was just doing it in a roundabout way. So I was looking out externally thinking that, shit, I've got all these problems in my life now that I didn't realize were there before, when really it was just, I was just reaching for something other than what was happening inside me. So when I'd realized that, well, I guess where the moment I realized was one day when I was just having a really challenging day. This was second lockdown, and I can't remember what was happening, but I felt like I was just going to pull my hair out, right? And so, and I just had to I had to get out of the house. And so I chucked on the running shoes and I went for a run. That was the first time I'd been jogging for probably 2 years, I would say. And I just hit the pavement and I just pumped it. Like I just ran as fast and as far as I could. I knew that there's something inside me told me I need to be exhausted right now, right? This is the only way I'm going to get rid of this feeling inside myself. And I did, and the feeling went away, and it had been there slowly creeping up for weeks, and the endorphins kicked in, and I walked back into the house, and I was completely changed, right, in the space of 20 minutes, probably. That's as far as I could run, really. And I realized, oh shit, this is coming in from inside me. You know, this is not external things that are causing these issues. This is coming from internally me. So yeah, definitely the importance of exercise was a big one for me. A lesson that I learned through the most recent COVID lockdowns, and then all just the weird little things, like how important it is to see people's faces in 3D compared to 2D. You know, that was just a very strange thing that lesson I'd never thought I'd learn. I went and had breakfast with my sister for the first time, and well, I hadn't seen her since the start of lockdown number one. And it was almost like I was looking at her face. I don't know. It kind of felt weird to be seeing her face in 3D in real life, you know? So I think that was a bit of a strange thing that I realized. But yeah, other than that, the main point I took away from it was just no one can live their life like that. It's not a solution. You know, it can't be the solution. It might be a short-term solution, but there's no way that long-term humanity is going to survive in indoors like that without community and the face-to-face side of things. It's not possible, I don't think. So that was a big one for me. Check out more episodes from Convos with Clenergy. Slap that subscribe button now. Cheers, cutters.